Kāko, ai Kāko.
Taro, or Colocasia esculenta, is believed to originate in Southeast Asia. In the first migrations of Austronesians into the Pacific, they brought taro with them in their canoes. Historically, taro is one of the main staple crops of the Pacific. In Hawaii, taro, or kalo, was the sole staple crop and was deified as it was recognized as the lifeline of humans in the Hawaiian Islands. The Sky Father Wakea and his daughter Ho'ohokukalani consummated and had a stillborn child they named Haloa Nakalau Kapilili. They planted him in the earth, and out spread the first kalo plant. They had another son, also named Haloa, who was the first Hawaiian. The two brothers must take care of each other in order to live. Kalo is a perennial plant. It can thrive for a long time so long as conditions are favorable for the plant. All parts of the plant are edible when cooked. Kalo is high in calcium crystal oxalates, which makes you itchy when you work with it, or itchy in your throat when eaten undercooked. The corm is an underground modified stem in which the plant stores energy in the form of starch and sugar. Centuries of cultivation have produced hundreds of varieties with different colors, flavors, and textures. Mala is kalo cultivation without any irrigation. Mala are successful and productive in places that have consistent rainfall, as kalo loves water. Lo'i are pits in the ground which are fed by springs or rivers. Water enters the lo'i via auwai, or water channel, and returns to its source via ho'iwai, literally meaning returning water. The water in the lo'i must be running water, otherwise stagnation causes the corms to rot. There are many problems surrounding kalo cultivation today. Loss of agricultural land to residential and commercial rezoning has significantly limited cultivation. According to the Department of Agriculture, there were over 35,000 acres of kalo planted on Oahu alone less than 60 years ago, but today only 305 are actively producing. The amount of kalo and poi being produced makes it expensive for a staple crop, averaging $7 to $10 per pound, compared to rice, which is about 60 cents a pound. Many people simply cannot afford it. Invasive species also plague kalo cultivation in the islands. Apple snails, California grass, honohono, and leaf blight all compete for resources and hinder the growth of kalo. Unavailability of native foods in the local food system have caused health problems in Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders, such as obesity, diabetes, cancer, and heart disease. Beginning in the 1970s, the Hawaiian Renaissance birthed many mahi'ai kalo and has given more opportunities to the ones that remained. Many nonprofit organizations were born with the goal to make native foods more available to increase the health of Native Hawaiian communities and reaffirm the intimate relationship between Aina and Kanaka, with the focus on younger generations, the future of Hawaii. Kāko Ōiwi is a non-profit organization in the Iliaina of Hawaii, the Ahupua'a of He'eia, in the Moku of Ko'olaupoko, Oahu, founded in 2010. Their mission is to restore cultural connections between land, families, and communities through food and health. They steward over 405 acres of land and manage over 12 acres of active lo'i kalo and mala. Kāko Ōiwi grows and sells organic produce and Pacific staple crops at reasonable prices to make these foods more available for the community. For my service learning project, I weeded the auwais and the ho'iwais of the lo'i at Kāko Ōiwi. Although pulling weeds seems a small task, it will have immediate effects on the lo'is and rivers, and will contribute to the lasting societal and economical and environmental impacts of supporting local farms. If the auwais are clogged, more water will be retained and stagnated in the lo'i, causing rot, affecting the quality and quantity of the kalo. When the amount of water borrowed from the river is returned to the river, the flow downstream is not affected and remains pono. Supporting local farms will keep money in the local economy, which is over-dependent on tourism and outside sources of funding. When one buys food locally produced, carbon emissions decrease because the distance from farm to table is much shorter. Instead of crossing a continent and an ocean, local food must only cross the freeway. Lastly, supporting local farms, Kāko Ōiwi especially, helps keep the country and helps protect the already threatened ecosystems from further degradation. Developing these lands agriculturally and restoring it to its pre-contact potential will not only feed the community, but also reopen niches for native species, including native Hawaiians, to thrive once more.
Kālo me.